this is my review of Sonic X. Okay, so this episode of Sonic X doesn't necessarily further the plot at all, but it is an interesting episode because it's kind of, can Sonic X do horror well? Because that's what this episode is. So Chris and his family, as well as Sonic and all of his friends, accompany Chris's mom Lindsey to a movie shoot at an old castle, and it's this generic romantic movie thing. That's basically what Lindsey is there to do. And sure enough, things start out fine enough. But during filming, one of the cameramen accidentally starts bumping into this weird statue thing that's just in the middle of the yard, and he picks it up and moves it so that he can actually film the shots that he needs because it's kind of in the way. And this is when things start going horribly wrong. So nobody except Sonic really notices anything until later that night when they're filming something in a spooky hallway, and that's kind of it. One of the audio guys starts noticing that there's something really weird going on with the audio while he's trying to film, but can't figure out what's going on his end. But for whatever reason, it keeps persisting. So when they decide to wrap for the night, he goes to investigate. Meanwhile, Sonic decides to do some investigating of his own and proceeds outside to actually look for what he thinks is causing disturbances, and eventually finds the hourglass statue lying on the ground and realizes it was most likely knocked off the pedestal outside. However, while the audio guy is investigating it, while everybody's getting tucked in for the night, the audio guy actually finds the ghosts, the booms, which, if you don't know, are these obscure ghosts things from the Sonic series that occasionally show up from time to time. They started appearing in Sonic Adventure 2, which is what the majority of this game is adapted off of. It's based off of Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, so it's largely adopted off of that, except for the third season, which I'll get to eventually. But in case, yeah, he accidentally sets off the booms, which managed to kidnap Ella and Lindsey while they're caught off guard, because nobody even realizes that there's ghosts. And the ghosts just kind of take them. And Sonic shows up after hearing Amy's scream from outside and rushes inside to help out. And upon realizing that there's ghosts, he tries to fend them off, but fails and almost gets captured himself. But not before passing the hourglass statue to Chris, explaining that it's kind of might be the cause of everything, and that they should investigate it while they have the chance, before he's captured as well and pulled into their dimension. So with that, Chris and Amy decide to go investigate the statue pedestal outside and try to figure out what exactly is going on. At which point they find a weird prophecy saying that they gain strength in the moon and they disappear in the sun. So they notably don't realize that the hourglass has a sun and moon on it. We know this because we see it, but they don't notice that until the very end of the episode. But in any case, they notice a strange breeze coming from underneath the pedestal, and Amy knocks it out of the way with her hammer. At which point they proceed to go in. So Chris is notably terrified, and Amy, while putting on a brave face, is a little bit terrified too. They eventually get to the basement and are attacked by booms, but the booms flee upon seeing the hourglass and retreat back to wherever it is they came from. So with that, Amy realizes that the booms are scared of the hourglass and tries to use that to their advantage to fend them off. Eventually, they arrive at the central chamber underneath the lawn, where they find Sonic, who is woken up inside the ghost dimension and is barely able to see through it. And here's the odd part: the leader of the Booms, King Boom Boo, actually starts using Sonic as kind of like a vocal puppet. It mimics his voice to trick Amy into unleashing the Booms and King Boom Boo from their dimension, which she does, which he does in a kind of stupid thing, but then again, she thinks it's Sonic saying these things, when in actuality, Sonic is not saying any of these things. He's telling her, don't put the statue on the thing. That'll cause Ghost to get out. But she can't actually hear him because King Boom Boo is manipulating what she can hear. So naturally, she does it. She puts the statue on the thing, and it causes the booms to get out, and King Boom Boo, despite Sonic telling Amy not to, Amy actually attacks King Boom Boo, but is immediately captured and possessed by a ghost, and then she proceeds to attack Chris. So now Chris is kind of scared, defenseless, because now he has to face off against his friend, who has now been possessed by a ghost. And sure enough, he just runs in circles trying to get away from Amy, who is now very, very terrifying. However, she stops when he winds up in front of the statue, and realizing that this hourglass statue is in fact the key to everything, actually flips the statue upside down so it's the sun facing up. And sure enough, that enables Sonic to get out, and he's able to actually defeat King Boom Boo while everybody else flees. However, because Lindsey thinks she's in a bit of a movie shoot, doesn't realize the urgency of what's going on, and sure enough, Sonic eventually catches up on this after defeating King Boom Boo, albeit temporarily, and realizing that Lindsey is the one holding everybody up, picks her up, carries her out of the place, and everybody follows suit. At which point, Amy closes the pedestal up back up with her hammer, and Chris puts the hourglass back on the pedestal. However, he accidentally puts it the wrong way, although I don't think it really matters either way. But in any case, upon arriving back out at the castle, the police have actually gotten involved because now there's missing people involved. So yeah, they show up and try to figure out what's going on, and the police officer explains exactly what happened. So, according to the police officer, the entire castle was supposedly built on an ancient burial ground, and that's why the booms were showing up. And the guy who built it notably did not care and got himself kidnapped and taken into their dimension, and it's unknown what happened to him. So, yeah, basically the castle was haunted, and the guy just didn't listen, and that's why there were ghosts there to begin with. So, yeah, this episode overall is just a little scary, and that's okay. I mean, it's cartoon spoopy, so it's not too terrifying, but still spoopy nonetheless. It's cartoon Sonic terrifying. It's not necessarily scary, but it is a little bit unnerving. So, yeah. In any case, yeah, this episode was just to establish that we are slowly incorporating things from the Sonic Adventure universe into the anime. So get used to that. That's going to be a recurring thing going forward. But yeah, that's basically it. So Sonic faces off against a ghost. He wins, but the ending doesn't really end with a happy ending. They seal the ghosts in, but the ghosts are still very much there. And it begs the question, what happens when somebody else just wanders into this place and gets taken as well? That is going to be a bit of a mess that they're going to have to clean up. But in any case, yeah. That's my review of Sonic X. What did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And also, if you want to help support the show, then be sure to check out my Patreon in the description below as well. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks that I'm always saying thanks, so be sure to check those out in the description below as well. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!